Hello, this is the design demo for the Instructor Intelligent Dashboard feature. So you can see that we are in the Instructor dashboard. We have a new tab called Learning Dashboard. I am right now viewing data for the entire course section. I can see there's some summary stats up here. If I want to know more about them, I can hover over the tooltips, learn more about them. I also see that there is an AI recommendation, so that is recommending an action for the instructor to take based on the data shown in the dashboard. If I have feedback on that, I could give it a thumbs up, I can give it thumbs down. Let's just give it a thumbs up for now. And I can also provide some additional feedback so that we can give our model more examples of, hey, this was a good response, hey, this was not. I can also regenerate an AI recommendation if I wanted to, but these will also automatically regenerate once a day. So let's go on down to the engagement section. Here I can see progress. I can hover over this bar chart and see students either as a count or as percentage. If I have a schedule in a course, I can see, hey, what have students completed, compared to where we're at in the schedule. Looks like everybody's kind of on track. Some people are ahead. I can also change the completion threshold here, since sometimes it is difficult to achieve 100% on a page, on a module, on a unit, and I can define that here. See that I have a class size of 800. Looks like there's more than 7 units, so I can go over there. This is paginated. Let's take a look at student support. Here I can filter students by progress and or proficiency to identify who needs support or who is excelling. I can interact with this donut chart, or I can use the key to switch between the different groups of students. If a student does not have enough proficiency data yet to be placed in a group, they're going to be placed into the not enough information. Oops. Okay, and I can also use these filters here to see who is active, who is not, and I can kind of go through that list. I can select students here. I could view their profile. If I wanted to email the selected students, I could do that. And we have a new email layout here using generative AI to first draft something for me that I can then edit. I can change the tone. I can edit the recipients. I can really customize it, but I'm starting with context first. So that context should update according to where, I'm emailing from in the instructor interface. Let's close out of that. And I can see the definition of each one of these groups in here. Let's say that I don't really agree with that definition. I can go in and I can edit it in this more advanced control modal. I can edit what defines inactive. So right now it's if you visited more than 7 days ago. I can define what means struggling and excelling. I can drag on this matrix here, or I could use the inputs here, and then everything that is outside of that struggling, excelling, that's going to be on track. Okay, let's say that I also am not really, looking at engagement. I can expand and collapse these sections. I should be able to drag the sections, and it should save my preference on the dashboard. But now let's go check out content. So here I'm going to see any objectives that are demonstrating low proficiency. I see that I can have sub-objectives here as well. If I click on one, it should take me to that sub-objective expanded in the learning objectives page. Same thing if I click on a learning objective, it will take me to that one. Or it can also, if you've noticed that there's links in each corner of these tiles, they just link to kind of the overall bucket for that section. So just viewing learning objectives, take me to the learning objectives. just viewing student overview takes me to the overview. So it's kind of a chance to dig in from the tile. Then lastly here we have the assessments tile. I can expand one of these and see that there's a distribution. I can see how many students completed this assessment. If I wanted to email them a reminder, I could do that. I can see some stats here, and let's say I'm really investigating, I can review the questions, and that should link me to the scored page with those questions. So then I can even go further and go into the new distributions that we have here. And then I can also just go and view the assessment scores from there as well, just getting a nice overview. Now up here, I can expand this. Things will not be pushed like this, that's just a limitation of the prototype, but this is the same type of filter we have in the learning objectives. I can search for content here, or I can just choose from the list, or I can hit next and it will just take me through the curriculum. So I can see the content filtered by that. So let's say that I'm looking at a module here. So all of this information is going to update to the module that I'm looking at. These are now going to be pages. This is all going to be that module specific. So say that there are no, low proficiency learning objectives. They're going to see a message that says that. Same thing with assessments. And let's see if I have a example for a unit. You can see now I see some modules here. If a page is only in a unit, that would be here as well. And everything is going to be specific to that unit. And there are some edge cases that we also have defined and tried to look at for different courses, so that hopefully, if something does not exist, that has been accounted for. If you have any questions, please direct them to Jess Fortunato. Thanks.